What about this then? After today's win, Roma are top of Serie A. 4 games played, they remain unbeaten, just 2 points dropped. Their victory came today against Monza. The game really, Gab, that saw the arrival of Dybala.
Yeah, and look, Monza are not particularly good, but they've really suffered kind of the shock of promotion. But that said, there's so many things to highlight, so many positives to highlight of Mourinho's Roma. You mentioned Dybala there. He looks fit, he looks hungry, scored 2 goals. The first one especially, people had doubts about him physically. I mean, he ran basically 30, 40 yards, with the defender hanging off him and put the ball in the back of the net. But also equally impressive, and I think something people haven't really underscored is that this Roma side have conceded 1 goal all season long. That was Vlahovic's free kick after 2 minutes when they played Juventus. That's impressive too. You know, people said there's so much attacking firepower. Can they still be solid at the back? Can they be solid at the back with Matic in midfield, whatnot? Well, I think they provided an answer to that. So right now Mourinho once again, 8th king of Rome. Well,
Very
9th
much
king
so.
because Totti's the 8th king.
Will he be still king come the end of the season, Gab?
That's a good question. He's in terms of having getting buy-in from fans and local media, he's done everything right. Obviously, the winning the Europa Conference League helped. If you're asking, can they win the title in his second season after finishing, what was it, 7th, 8th last year, or 6th, but in any way, pretty far back. I don't know. Others would have to falter. I think Inter and Milan still have stronger squads on paper. I think Juventus probably do as well, although they've been very much up and down, and Napoli's in the mix. But certainly, if their chances were 5% at the start of the season, I think they've suddenly gone up quite a bit.
Meanwhile, we saw Inter Milan bounce back after that defeat against Lazio to beat Cremonese by 3 goals to 1. What a goal from Barella in this tie. A much-needed win, Gab.
Yeah, an important win as well. Obviously, heading towards the derby as well, which always plays in the backs of players' mind, and then the Champions League, of course. After that, there was no Lukaku for this game. He rested Lautaro. Lautaro later came on and scored, but really, I think it was a case of the midfield punishing Cremonese. The second goal, you said Barella, phenomenal. First goal after the goalkeeper spills it on the back of a counter. Inter have to be good at kind of getting those scrappy goals. They have to realize that they're not going to go and dominate opponents every game, but they have to learn to be efficient. And it is a confidence boost, and there could still be movement in the transfer window as well.
Yeah, some momentum then going into the Milan derby, as you mentioned, Gab. Something that maybe AC Milan are lacking, as they could only manage that 0-0 draw against Sassuolo today.
Yeah, this is not a good performance, and they could have lost. Domenico Berardi, of course, having his penalty saved by the unbelievable Super Mike Magnan in the Milan goal. This is really a game I think Milan will in many ways want to try to forget, because they were not affected, had some chances early on, seemed to kind of wane a little bit as the match went on. Sassuolo are a good side. They're a footballing side. They're a fearless side. They're a side that remains competitive, even as they often sell so many of their best players year after year. But I think more than the point, because there's no shame in drawing away to Sassuolo, I think it's the performance which Pioli's not going to like, as well as perhaps another injury to Alessandro Florenzi, who had to come off and leaving Milan to finish the game with just 10 men.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.